Hello everyone, in this video I will show you our new product, and you can see this is King Kong A8v3 new version. And you can see this is King Kong A8 old version. So in this video I will show you what is different between these two hardware resources and how it works with the KCS V3, for example used for Home Assistant. So this board also made by ESP32 but with big memory size. And it also works for Home Assistant using ESP Home. And also you can use KCS V3, use MQTT Auto Discovery, is very easy. And also you can write your own Arduino source code and ESP IDF development tool based on this board. Also support MicroPython. So in this video, I will show you this hardware design details and what is different between these two boards and how it works with a different software solution. Okay, let's look at this hardware design details. Firstly, okay, let's look at this is A8v3 and this is A8. And you can see I can put it here. And you will see these two boards almost the same size. And what is different? Let's compare with two boards. And the first one you can see this old version that have ESP32 module at here. It's Wi-Fi antenna, PCB antenna. But this new version, the new design, we have used this B16 core, this core board. So that will be easy for update in future. And this board you can see just a small PCB size and fixed on this bottom board. And this module used by ESP32 and you can see this have a IPX socket, and this one is PCB antenna. So this is different. So that if you want extended antenna will be very easy. For example, you can use this FPC antenna and you just connect this IPX to this module. And also you can see this board have integrated the Tuya module. The white module is the Tuya module. So this board need use by Tuya lessons for Tuya application. And this board not need Tuya lessons, just use Tuya app directly. And support voice control by Alexa and Google Home Speak directly without anything else. And you can see if you want use this extend antenna. For example, you can use this extend antenna. So you can find the IPX to SMA adapt. So you can connect by this SMA antenna interface. So this will be flexible to choose a different solution of antenna for this A8v3 because this used by Tuya module and this used by ESP32. So this is the CPU different between the old version and the new version. And let's look at the second. You can see this time you can see this board will have a LCD display. You can see the LCD display. You can connect with your LCD at here, and you can use this screw to fix by this at here, just by this 4 cup. And this is display that will show the IP address of the internet and the Wi-Fi and the sensor data at this screen and work with the KCS V3. So this is LCD, and the other version without LCD. And this time you can see it here have a SD card. So you can insert your SD card at here. So that with the KCS firmware that will save the logo of the relay, open and close the date and the time. So for example, what's the date and what's the time, turn on the relay and turn off the relay, all will save this SD card by TXT file. So that will easy to open by Windows PC or Apple Macintosh, just the logo file inside of SD card. Okay, and you can see This one is IF receive module and IF send module. This is 433 MHz send. And the receive module you can see at here, and you can plug in at here. So you can see this is receive, this is send module. Okay, and this time you can see this is power circuit that have an NTC. This is NTC to protect the circuit, and also you can exchange the polo of the wire will not damage this board. If this board, this positive and negative is exchanged, and the PCB will be burned, and this will not be burned. So that have a protection and have a part on this PCB. And the most important, we have designed this board and support 12 to 24 volt, because you can see for this relay, you can see this relay is 5 volts, and this relay is 12 volts. And you can see this is 12 DC, and this time you can see we have used 5 DC, 12 DC and 5 DC. We have designed this for 5 DC because the power supply you can use 12 volts or 24 volts at the same time. So this board, old version, only used by 12 volts for the power supply, and this board we can use 12 or 24 volt DC power supply. So that will be easy to connect to your PLC system. And another important, this board you can see this have a battery socket. This is the battery. You can see just you install this battery at here, just at this socket for this battery. So that will have a RTC clock, DS3231, high quality RTC chip on this board. And this board without RTC chip. And this board will have a RTC chip to save the clock. You can insert and install the battery on this socket, because we send product by airplane, so we can't send this battery. Let's look at the battery module. And you can see that is CR1220, CR1220 at this battery module. Okay. And another side, you can see this two board, the interface almost as same as before. The interface almost as same as before. But you can see this have a green terminal. The green terminal that have added the ESP32. You can see this have A and B. So this support ESP32 directly. So you can connect with this A and B and connect with the socket at here. And also this you can see the I2C interface. You can extend your sensor at here. And also you can see the Ethernet. We have replaced the old Ethernet chip. This is old Ethernet chip. This is the LAN 8720, the chip. And this one, we have used this W5500 Ethernet chip on this board. So this will be very stable. And this chip, also the cost is high than this old version. So this will be better for the Ethernet. So you can see this is the in front of this PCB board, and this is the back. You can see this is the back PCB. And you can see this have a red socket and this have a white socket. That we will give you a cable to insert from here and here, just connect together. That is for the battery. The battery gives the power to this RTC clock at here. So this will have a cable. And this board also supports install the DIN rail, because you can install to this plastic shoe and install the DIN rail. So you can see you can put the board on this plastic shoe button and just close it, and you can see this one and this one, and actually you can see, so that can install the DIN rail as before. Okay, this is the hardware resource is different between this two board. And now I will show you how it works with the KCS firmware, and how it works with the Home Assistant, and how it works with the Tuya mobile phone application. I square C LCD at here and fixed by the screw. Okay, you can see I have installed the LCD at here. And now the first I want to connect with the power supply. Just use this terminal. I will connect with this 12 volt, and also you can connect with the 24 volt. So just connect as this way. And connect with my Ethernet cable. We will use by Ethernet cable, and also you can use by Wi-Fi. So this is Ethernet cable, and I will test with the Tuya. So I will connect with this antenna at here. Okay, just you can see as this way. And also you can use another antenna, I just for testing. And the first time you can download the firmware by USB-C cable, connect to your computer. You can see I connect the USB cable at here, and then power on. We will back to my computer. You can see power on. Because this is testing firmware inside, we will overwrite it. This is a testing manufacturing firmware, not KCS firmware. Okay, let's back to my computer. Now I will show you how to work with the KCS firmware. And you can see in our phone, you can download the firmware, or you can download the ESP Home YAML file. So you can see, you can find the A8v3 version at here. You can see at here. So you can click, and you will see this Arduino source code demo all at here. And this you can see the ESP32 S3 pin define, the pin define at here. And you can see this is ESP Home YAML file for Home Assistant. If you want to use Home Assistant by the YAML file, you can download it here. This is the file. And this time we can download the KCS v3 firmware. That will be easy because for Home Assistant is auto discovery. So you can see we can enter this KCS v3 firmware, and you can see this bin file download. The new ES2 firmware will top at this form, the thread, and we can click, and you can see we can download the A8v3, just this file. I already have downloaded. So you can see I can use this fresh download tool for ESP32. I can click at here, and you can see I can choose this ESP32 S3 and this by USB, and click OK. And in this section you can see you can just click this and choose this file you have already downloaded, and make sure you have unzipped the file, because this is a zip file. You can see this is a zip file. So after you unzip, you will get this bin file. So just choose this bin file and select the COM port have auto detected, and first time I suggest to erase it. So you can see this is erases the whole ESP32 because maybe have some settings. That is finished. Then you can click start. That will begin download the KCS V3 firmware. Okay, this is finished, so I can close this window, and we need to re-power on of this board. So you can see I need power off and power on again, and this time you can remove this USB cable, only the Ethernet cable. So you can see the LCD showed welcome, and that can show this Wi-Fi default IP address. The Ethernet is used by DHCP will be lit the 2 because it's offline, because I have not configured. And this time you can see the Ethernet chip, you can see the IP address have listed, it is used by DHCP. So you can see I can use this IP address 3.135. So you can see I can open a web browser and import 135, enter. And the default username password is admin, so I can log by my board. You can see A8v3, and this is showed the firmware version, and you can see the input and set the input whether reversed logical, and the output you can see you can set the 8-channel relay hold on or have a delay time, also whether have reverse. So this is option. And if you work with a motor or with a curtain, you can set the interlock group. Because we have 8-channel relay, so you can max set 4 group. Because, for example, you can use your relay 1 and relay 2 work with the group 1, and the relay 3, relay 4 work as a group 2. So that means these 2-channel relay will not work on at the same time. For example, you want relay 1 is on, and relay 2 is off. Relay 2 is on, relay 1 will be off. Just these 2 relay can't turn on at the same time because that needs to protect your motor. The motor will be broken if all have the power. So this is the interlock group for the relay, for curtain, and for motor. And also you can see the next, you can see the RF because we have the RF module. So that will be very easy to learn RF signal. For example, I have an RF signal. This is RF remote, or you can also have an RF sensor, door sensor, window sensor, or gas sensor, or smoke sensor. So that will be very easy to learn the signal. And you can see if I click learn and I click this button, you can see learn successfully for channel 1. And also you can learn the second, you can see I can click learn and press. You can see the successful for channel 2 wireless signal. So this wireless signal will use by the FTDD command. That will be very easy, so that you can use this button 1 to turn on relay 1, or button 2 to toggle relay 2, or button 3 to turn all off the relay, or button 4 for turn all on the relay. Just set by yourself. If you have a FTDD command, it's very powerful in KCS V3. And also you can see this have a sensor. The sensor you can configure by yourself. You can see you can choose the sensor type, the DSATP20 or DHT1122 or I2C and Kinkoni TS IS485 sensor. So you can connect max 32 sensor at here. Just select your sensor type and select your GPIO, which GPIO have used by this board. And if you have connected with the IS485 sensor, and you can just set this address of IS485. So this will be extend the sensor very easy and flexible. And if you want the sensor automatic update the message to MQTT or by the protocol, and you can set to 0.1. That means the threshold, if the sensor temperature is different from 0.1, that will auto send the message by different protocols such as MQTT. So make sure you have set the threshold value. And if you want the sensor showed in display, you just click. So very easy. So the sensor will show on the display screen. And the next you can see the monitor. And this monitor you can see the different protocol will state as shown at here, and which is work and which is not work, disabled or enabled. So this TUIA, later I will show you how it configured by TUIA. Is very easy. And you can see this ADC and the sensor. If you have configured, you will list at here the sensor date. And the RF signal, you can see I have rendered the two signal. You can see if I press this button, that will be turn green. Press this second, that will be turn green. So you can see that will be detect the RF signal. And this RF output means you can click this button. You can see, click this button, that will send the learned RF signal by the send module, RF send module. So this can learn the signal. The input is learn the signal, and the output that is send out the RF signal you have learned. So you can control your motor and control your curtain and control your RF device very easily. Just click this one. You can see if I click this one, send the signal, also it have detected the signal have received. And this is digital input, 8-channel digital input, and this is digital output. You can see this is relay 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see that have one LCD showed at here. So we can also all on and all off. So this is the monitor, and this is ESP32 is also very powerful. You can create 128 ESP32 command. For example, you can see you can edit this ESP32 and choose a name and enable it. And when DI, that means digital input is a triangle. One single click, double click, hold on. Usually will connect with a different switch panel. So you can click or double click or hold on. So that will have a different action by this ESP32. And this means just by one time, just press, and this is release your finger. So this is if condition. This is for analog. The analog input 1, analog input 2, and will greater than or less than a value you have set it here. The RF signal that we have learned, for example, I have learned the first button and the second button, so you can choose the RF1 and RF2 at here. And the temperature, if you have configured the sensor, so you can choose which sensor the temperature or humidity greater than or less than a value. And this is the clock. So what time and what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and what time that will trigger this clock. And this is customer protocol. You can define what have received a message by TCP, by UDP, by other protocol that will do an action by yourself. So this have a custom protocol, and this is then command just what is send out the actions. So this is DO, that means relay is on and off or toggling this relay at here. And this means the RF signal, we have learned which signal, RF signal we need to send out. Just choose at here. And this is a clock, that means a delay time. You can see the seconds, max is this number, and the minimum is 1 second. So you can add delay time because maybe you have some different actions. For example, turn on relay 1 and delay 2 seconds, and turn on relay 2 and delay 3 seconds, and turn off relay 3. So this can add this delay between the different actions. And also you can see this have a customer protocol, so you can, when it's triggered, that can send a command, customer protocol by UDP, by TCP, and by HTTP. So this will be very flexible. What customer protocol is received and what customer protocol is sent out. Just link by yourself by the ESP32. And this you can see that is a network. Just set the LAN Ethernet and the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi you can set to STA mode. If you want to use the board, connect with your loader. So you can input the SSID and the password, the default, because I have used the Ethernet. So that Ethernet is default with a work as a DHCP mode. And this you can see the protocol. The protocol you can see the customer protocol. If you have enabled Kingkong Cloud, so this board will work with the Kingkong Cloud server, and you can see this is a Kingkong Cloud server that can work on a web browser, on PC, compute, or on Apple Macintosh, or on your mobile phone without any application. You don't need to install any application. So you can see this Kingkong board all can work by the web browser, remote control and monitored by internet. And this is the protocol. And this is for the MQTT for Home Assistant, that is auto discovery function. For example, if I have enabled this one, because you can see this is my Home Assistant dashboard. You can see the dashboard. I can click a setting and click device and click device. You can see this have listed many different Kingkong smart controller. Just you can see this is not have a A8v3 board. You can see I have listed here. No A8v3 board. Now I will show you it integrate to Home Assistant very easily just by the MQTT auto discovery. So you can see I can just enable this one and import a device name, for example A8v3. And this is a Mosquito MQTT broker IP address. I have installed the Mosquito in my Kingkong Server 16 controller, Raspberry Pi controller. And you just import the IP address of your Mosquito and import the part of your MQTT broker and also the username and the password. So you need just set this information for this web page, and then you can click Save. And we'll be reboot, and we can back to Home Assistant dashboard at here, and just wait for a moment because it will be reboot. And after reboot, you can refresh this web page. You can see I can refresh. Okay, I'm not refresh. You can see the A8v3 board have detected at here, and you can see this is auto discovery. So you can see we have used this auto discovery function. So that you can see the Home Assistant, I'm not do anything. So that will auto list at here A8v3. So you can click and you will see this is 8-channel relay. You can see turn off, turn off, turn off. Relay is turn on, turn off by yourself. It's no problem. And this is 2-channel ADC. You can see analog input. And this is digital input, 8-channel digital input. And this you can see also have integrated with the IF2 signal. Just this 2 IF remote. So you can see I can press this button 1. Button 1, you can see that is trigger on. And if I press this button 2, you can see this is on. So this time the 2 IF signal I have learned also have integrated to Home Assistant automatically. And this is digital input 1 to 8. Just this one. If you shut this with ground, that will be trigger. So this is very easy. Integrate the A8v3 board to Home Assistant by KCSv3 MQTT auto discovery function. So you can see you can add to dashboard. So almost zero config, almost zero code. Just set this information by yourself. So it's very easy. That is a Home Assistant. And this is MQTT protocol. You can enable it so that you can let the board connect to your own MQTT broker on the internet or in local network. Just connect to your own cloud server without Kingkong Cloud Server. Because if you don't want to use the Kingkong Cloud Server, you just disable it. If you want to use, just enable it. So that will be easy. And this, if you want to use HTTP command, you can enable it, or TCP, enable it, or UDP, or AS485 Modbus. You can see this have AS8v3 Modbus protocol, RTU standard protocol, or you can use Kingkong A8v2 module. That is AS485 switch adapt. So you can choose a different protocol that will be easy to use. And you can see it here, that is the customer size protocol. You can see this is for then command and this is for if command. So every command you can see you can define 64 customer size protocol. So that will be very easy and flexible for your integrate to the third part device to the to King controller. So you can see by UDP, by TCP, HTTP, and AS485, and if command. Also, you can set the different condition for if TCP, UDP, AS485 by hex format or by ANSI string command at here. Okay, so you can see, and this is the Luxon Apple HomeKit. This is Apple HomeKit. So you can enable the Apple HomeKit. You can directly to use, just define the input, which input you want to use, and set the name of the device, such as input 1 is a door sensor, input 2 is a window sensor, input 3 is a smoke sensor. So if you enable this one and press this save, and at last you enable this Apple HomeKit at here, just enable this one. So you can use this code and add this Kinkoni relay board to Apple HomeKit application directly. And also this input and this output, how many relay switch you want to use, you just enable. And also you can set the name at here, so that will be very easy. And this is for DAC, and this is for ADC, analog input, or DAC is for dimmer, because the A8v3 no dimmer resource, so that is can't find the record. If other board have the dimmer, you can set it here. This is HomeKit sensor. If you have enabled the sensor, so you can also use it here, HomeKit sensor. And this is for Luxon, for UDP command, integrate with the board to Luxon mini server system. At here, you can see, just also very easy, just by UDP command that support the Luxon. You can see how to use the UDP command at here. Okay, the next you can see the system that you can set the time zoom, and the board, and some different other settings you can set it at here. And also this is restore manufacturer setting. You can click at this button. And now I will show you how to work with the Tuya application. You can see the Tuya is disconnect, because our system you can use the Home Assistant and the Tuya at the same time. The Home Assistant is work in local network. You can see the HA Home Assistant is connected. So this without internet, just work in local network. Internet is disconnect is no problem. And the Tuya mobile phone application used for remote control by internet using your mobile phone. So I will show you how to use it configured by Tuya application. Okay, this is my mobile phone. You can see this is Tuya Smart and this is Smart Life. These two applications all can work at the same time. So you can use any one. So I just click this one, and you can see the LED red, yellow LED is blink. That means prepare for Tuya is ready. So you can see when I open this application, you can see that is auto discovered A8v3 board. So you just click add, and make sure you have enabled this Bluetooth. Compare the signal. You need to enable this Bluetooth firstly, and this is my load SSID and the password. So I can click the next. So just wait for a moment. Okay, you can see add successfully. So you can click down, and you can see I can press this button. You can see relay 1 is on, relay 2 is on, relay 3 is on. And now also you can use Alexa Speak and Google Home Speak. You can see it's very easy to use this A8v3 board with the Tuya application. I can put my mobile phone at here. Let's look at how it works with the Home Assistant at the same time. So you can see in my web page, you can see the Tuya is connected. So this time the Home Assistant and the Tuya is work at the same time. So you can see if I go to this Home Assistant, you can see if I click turn on relay 1, and you will see my Tuya mobile phone application is on. The first button is on. If I turn on, you can see turn on relay 2, and in my Home Assistant you can see that is turn on relay 2. So this Tuya and Home Assistant will work at the same time, and the switch state will update for each other. So you can see 4, 5, 6, and you can see that is all is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off. So you can see the Home Assistant also is turned off. It's also very easy. So let's test the input, digital input. If you can see, I can shut this input 8 at here. You can check the states in Home Assistant and the Tuya mobile phone application. And this one you can see at here is digital input 8. So you can see if I shut this digital input 8, and you can see this is triggered, and in Home Assistant you can see also is triggered at here. So this can show the state, work at the same time at here. Okay, so you can see this is the KCS-V3 for King Kong A8v3 relay board. It's very powerful. If you want to use the ESP home YAML file, you can also download from our phone that have short YAML file. You can download directly to use. Okay, if you have any questions, you can leave a message to us. Thanks for watching.